Welcome back to the package app of the Wolf Traders. We're going to get started quickly because I want to watch a video. I want to review it with everybody, and I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. So after I go over my thoughts after watching it, I need you to say something in the chat. Let me know what you think. But without further ado, let's get to it. All right. So I want to, ladies and gents, I want to go over something with everybody. Okay. With all this Firewall Ultra news coming out, there's stuff to see. Like there's new stuff to look at, and we could look at the videos all we want for sure, absolutely 100%. Like I kind of want to do that at some point. I want to go over and share with you like my thoughts about things. But there is a podcast called VR Crewcast, and there are a lot of very popular people on this podcast, and this is not a challenge for me to challenge other people's thoughts. Like I'm very much okay with that. Am I a bit opinionated? Maybe, but at the same time, there's a reason why I am challenging certain ideologies and certain viewpoints. There's a good reason for it, and I'll get into that in a moment. But this is on Gamertag VR's YouTube channel. If you guys, I encourage you to go over to his channel. He's been a long time VR enthusiast and YouTuber, and I think for the most part, like I like the guy. I think genuinely he wants to do better for the community. That's awesome. There's sometimes I enjoy watching his live streams as well. But like him and others, sometimes they have what I feel to be a very narrow-minded. I don't want to say narrow-minded perspective because they're not narrow-minded people, but it's very tunnel vision perspective of things. And in this cast where they talk about Firewall Ultra, it becomes very clear to me that these people just stopped playing Firewall. They don't know anything about Firewall. They claim to have an idea about Firewall because they played it before, but they don't know Firewall. And I'm going to point out a few things. So you won't be able to see this guy maybe. There's this guy in the bottom corner, okay? I want to watch this, and I want to share with you some of my thoughts on some of their takes. And I think it's important that I do this and that other people do this because we need to challenge. We need to challenge each other's thoughts. In fact, they challenge each other in here, which I appreciate. I love seeing podcasts where the speakers do not always agree. I think that's why Titch and I get along very well, because we don't always agree. And he likes to bust on me anyway. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into it.
Let's move on to talking about Firewall. Are you guys all up to date with the recent hands-on that all the press people had?
I haven't checked out all of them yet, but I've seen a few of them, and it's been extremely positive. Ian from Eurogamer was particularly impressed with it, and that's someone whose opinion I have a great deal of respect for. So I'm excited, man. I was already excited. Now I'm super excited.
Nice.
I've seen nothing, so I could definitely use like the information. I haven't
Same.
heard.
Can we immediately call out the elephant in the room? What in the crap is with a button reload in a VR game?
That's the way Firewall's always been, bro.
But it was
That's
always
why-
that way
No,
because of the aim control though. There's no aim control
Right.
now. To me, that's
Right.
a cop out now.
That is
Right.
that's
Right.
garbage.
And well, listen, like they had listen though, seriously, when Firewall Ultra was announced, everyone said, yeah, but there's no aim controller. So I get what they're doing. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but they're trying to cater to their base. The people that are coming over from the first version of the game, they want their experience to be similar to the experience of the first game. So they're going to copy over stuff like that. Hopefully it's optional.
All right, I'm pausing it here because it's very clear that this guy right here and this guy in the middle, I don't know their names, so I apologize. I don't know their names. I don't watch this podcast. I only clicked on it because GT put up this clip, and I follow GT on YouTube. So this was the most glaring issue, I think, for a majority of VR enthusiasts, because simply put, we are moving into the future with VR, and we have these beautiful new controllers here that allow you to individually move your hands in a virtual space, and we should be able to implement them in a realistic way, in a very immersive way. So manual reloading in a VR shooter game should, I think by default, or for the most part, close to default, implement some sort of manual reload system. I expressed my concern when I learned this news months back, and it's obvious that there's no clear indication. It's very obvious that they are either moving forward with only automatic reload button press system, or they're keeping hidden the fact that it's optional. Based on what Hess Barber said on Petrifying Pumpkins video in the comments section, he had stated that they want to keep it fun. So manual reloads are clunky. I've obviously shown you here on my channel that that is not the case. So, but what this guy here is saying, and I forget his name, but he's been on PSVR without parole, so apologies. I forget your name. I'm terrible with names. That's just me. I recognize faces very, very well, but names I forget. Regardless, what he says is that FCE is trying to attract and accommodate those who were already in Firewall Zero Hour. And I agree with this. I think that is a point of which people who are dedicated to Firewall Zero Hour can easily transition into the next gen.
Hopefully those of us who like to do manual reloading will be able to.
It won't be optional. You can't have a competitive shooter and have one lot of people pressing auto reload, because if they're competitive players, unless there's some sort of ruling where in the options it's cancelled out.
I buy the same products you do, only I get them much cheaper. I save hundreds of
This
dollars
should
a
not
month
have
by
ads.
doing this one.
You can't have a load of people always making the perfect fast reloads and a load of other people. I said it in my
He's
video.
talking to you, Alvo. He's talking to you, Alvo.
One of my favorite things.
Okay, so I like this point right here, because this is where GT pisses me off. He says you can't do that in a competitive setting. Like, you can't do it in a competitive game, and that is completely untrue. The fact that Alvo does it and does it so well is testament to the fact that you can do it. Trauma, one of the teams competing in the test league, they are all PlayStation, and they are beating everybody else with auto reload mechanics. Literally beating everybody else, because it has nothing to do really with the reload system. If there's any competitive VR shooter out there, the last thing people are working on, I don't want to say the last thing, but one thing that people are not working on immediately is their reload ability, the speed at which they reload. They're not focused on that. They're focused on the shooting and the aiming. They're trying to understand the basic mechanics of the shooting and the aiming. How long does it take for me to look down sight? How long does it take for me to empty this clip? What is the recoil pattern? What is the recoil pattern? One-handed, two-handed? How does this react in this certain situation? That's what people are working on. You don't ever hear reload. I'm working on my reloading today. That's just not the case. Because in most cases, when you're fighting someone, one of you is going to die rather quick. Now, there are a few games where it takes a little while. Contractors, you can waste a half of a clip on someone before you drop them. All right. Similarly, breachers, you can shoot them quite a bit in the body and they won't die. You'll use quite a few bullets. If you get a headshot, it's a headshot. But the rest of it's like, so like when he says this, that you can't have them, and then this guy down here says, he's talking to you, Alvo. This is the only mention of Alvo in the entire video. And my issue is that these people here, which you will find out, because I will shut up in a moment, these people here are strictly focused on only the maybe top selling or most popular titles, or titles that are interesting to them, but they don't look at all the titles objectively. Alvo has come such a long way, and they just poo-poo on it. And then GT makes this statement, and it's completely false. Anyway.
One of my favorite things in a game is those stress moments.
And also, listen.
Talking to you, Alvo.
One of my favorite things.
Talking to you, Alvo. And you know what he does? What everybody does? They just this guy down here, he's laughing. He's like, yeah, I heard that. Everybody else is just like, yeah, whatever.
My favorite things in a game is those stress moments. You drop your clip. Do you know what I mean? Like, you fuck up.
But I'm okay even with a pop 1 reload. I just don't want a button press.
Or a breacher's reload.
Yeah, or a breacher's reload.
I like.
Yeah, just don't give me a button press. And you know what? I don't think most of the people that have been using an aim controller for the past 5 years want a button press either when they're not using the aim controller. Like you saying, cater to those people, but I don't think they want it.
Do you know what
I wouldn't want it.
This is what we need to remember, and this is what I've seen personally, and I could be wrong, is that the PSVR only people aren't too bothered. They're not that bothered, because they haven't really experienced many other games.
I think there's a crowd that still wants an aim controller. There's a big crowd that still wants the aim controller. And I agree with GT on this point that there are many who have converted simply because of Pavlov. I think Pavlov is a big reason why people have converted from this, standalone aim controller use, button press, reload system. Keep it simple for us dummies who don't want to, finagle with the controls. I agree with him here that there have been a lot of converters, and I don't think that's the case anymore, where people are fiending for this. And the guy in the middle is saying, like, I don't think they actually want that. Well, no, there is a crowd that still wants it. So
Pavlov, right, is the only other game that most of them have now played. The guns are fantastic. There's World War weapons in there. For them, it's like an amazing playground. But the weapons in that are very real, very hard to reload. Like the first
very hard to reload, clunky
Pavlov,
as shit.
Everyone's like, unless you've really reloaded one, you're like, what the fuck am I doing? I don't know.
My issue with the clunkiness is that developers who make it super simulated and make it like hyper realistic in terms of being accurate, where you slide the magazine into the dock, how you pull the pin, you got to actually lift it up and pull back and then set it back. That's all well and cool. I mean, if that's what you're going for, the sim stuff, but you have to realize you can't feel any of this weight. So there's no resistance. There's no tactile or proprioceptive input to tell you that you're doing it right. You have to go by feel. I don't care if it's got haptic vibrations. You can't tell where the magazine and or clip is in relation to the dock, and you can't tell the pin, the weight of the pin, it getting jammed because you didn't lift up the slider enough to pull it back. All of a sudden, now it doesn't become natural because you can't actually feel it. So I don't like the hyper realism, and Pavlov is very hyper realistic in that sense, and it's clunky. And GT's like, he's saying to himself, I thrive on this. I thrive on when I drop a clip. What do you mean you thrive on dropping the clip? I'd rather not drop the clip if I don't mean to drop the clip. I wouldn't really do that in real life. Clip and magazine, whatever, whichever one you're using. So I think this point is I don't know. I think it's a very vague, opinionated statement. It's not super objective. Of course, he did say he thrives on it, so he was speaking from a subjective point of view. But you can't when you're doing something like this. I dislike when people insert too much of their own opinion that doesn't apply in the general sense. Like, I have opinions and I'll share them, but let's move on.
I know what I'm doing. I've never done this before. I think you've got the extremists of Pavlov, and they're saying, do you know what? I actually don't mind a button press. I don't want to fucking stand there lifting this up, pulling this clip over here, racking it back. And so
I
you've got
agree
two
with
extremes, unlike all of us who have played Onward, Contractors, Population 1, Breaches. And to be fair, Breaches is even simpler than Population 1.
Breaches is barely qualifies. It barely qualifies as a manual reload.
Yeah, it is just
you hit a button to drop your clip, and you put the mag in, and the rest of it's an animation. So I mean, it's just slightly above a button reload.
But it's better though. I still want that. Again, we complained about the Pop 1 reload when that first came out too, because they're like, wow, that's not going to work. It's way too cheap. It's not a real reload. And guess what? Now everybody loves it.
It's arcade.
Give me that over nothing. Give me that over a button press. I don't want a button press. I can button press and
go backwards here. I just don't want to go backwards. We're getting back to the point of having a controller in your hand, pushing a button to reload, pushing a button to aim down the sights. I don't want to do that.
I think this is a very good point, and I think this was a point that Titch and I had talked about over on Amateur Hour Commentary when this news came out. We're supposed to be moving forward. PlayStation VR 2 was brought to us with individual controllers, not an aim controller, and for a reason, because every other system implements single-handed controllers, not an adaptive piece of equipment that simulates holding a real gun. So now that Firewall Ultra is going to be coming out this year, they're not utilizing individual hands as everybody's now becoming accustomed to, as the old technology is finally starting to die out. We got to move forward. We got to stop living in the prehistoric era of VR. We can't rely on adaptive equipment. We can't rely on single button press reload systems. We got to move forward with peripherals. I have my gun stock right here for my Quest, right? Like, we got to start creating that immersive sense. And if people don't like that, well, then implement adaptability options into the game. Like, make the auto reload system an option. Don't make it the only option, but make it an option. Alvo has done that. They've made it so that you can have the automatic reload system. They have it so that you can have the manual reload system. I don't know why FCE is not doing that.
But nobody's complained about a button press in Resident Evil 8 when we got in certain instances, there's different
talk about this.
But it doesn't matter.
I reload my guns manually.
A button reload for Switchback. No one's complained about that either. I think it'll work. It'll be it's not everything has to be a recreation of real life.
Yes.
In a tactical simulation shooter, it does.
That's the problem. Everyone's kind of right.
I see both sides of this.
That's the problem. Sure. Everyone is
if it's a run and gun game, I guess I don't care. But again, this is a slow-paced tactical simulation shooter. This should have a full, or at least give me the option. Again, I know you can't, because you can't have competitive if one person's not doing it. But I want the option. Don't give me the arcade. This is not an arcade game. This is going to be breachers, and I want, or at least give me some type of reload.
So this point alone, I think, is super critical. The distinguishment between multiplayer, tactical, strategic gameplay versus arcade games like Switchback or Resident Evil, solo games. Now, FC has said that in Ultra there is going to be a PvE system implementation. I believe it's going to be along the lines of, a story-based system, which is cool. So we're going to maybe see this finally understand some sort of story that is within Firewall, maybe per character, maybe as the characters as a whole. So maybe the unit becomes the character. I don't know. So there's going to be a PvE system in place. So maybe that's where automatic reload is appropriate in a single player or co-op player type of game, right? You look at Resident Evil, you look at Switchback, you look at other games that implement automatic reload system. People don't care about that because it's a single player game. If you're going for a competitive game, like, yes, you can have the automatic reload system, but when it comes to guns, people want to feel the guns. They want to interact with the guns. They want to do things. They want to have free hands. Look at what they did with Solaris. They first put that game out and the hands were glued to the gun. People were like, what is this crap? So
somebody said in the chat, Decepticon, button reload and OG Firewall was fine. Regardless of whether you needed it for the aim controller or not, it worked. It'll work in this. It'll be fine. It'll be okay. Like
outside of VR, it's always a button press.
That's generally how I feel about it too, Roots. And I'm wondering, do we know? Are we confirmed on how the grenade mechanics work in Firewall Ultra?
Yes.
Am I throwing it?
No.
No, it's a button press.
No.
Arc.
It's a I might be wrong about this, but GT, isn't it a button, but you aim with your eyes, right? With the
as
eye
far
tracking?
as I know, yeah. So a lot of stuff is sort of controlled with your eyes. Someone's just saying in chat about
What's up?
pressing a button to aim or something. But I don't
Auto
know.
aim.
I know there's something called, like, is it ads? I'm sure someone put it in the chat earlier, but so there's a lot going on here. There's the ad system with the.
Were you here when he said something about competitive play and the mix between the two? Because it was near the beginning. We're moving on to a point of like the interactivity. So like Ultra is going to come out with some cool things, but grenade throwing is sloppy. The way it's implementing, yeah, it's really cool use of the tech, but it's very sloppily implemented. It's not good. The gun switching is not good. I don't care that it's cool implementation of eye tracking. I don't want to open up a weapon wheel. All right. If you're going to open up a weapon wheel, do it in a way like what Population 1 does, where they require you to press a thumbstick and then slide the thumbstick to where you want it, not to look at it. Like, there's no need to take your eyes off of the battlefield.
The guns where I think when you get them like close to your face, the gun will automatically like link up closer to your face. You've then got the gun angle and aiming is kind of assisted with eye tracking. So one, like in my video, I was just going through stuff and I was basically saying like you'll never now be able to, for example, drop your assault rifle and grab your pistol instead of reloading. That just can't happen because you're going to have to always have a weapon select menu. To pick the pistol. You know, there's never going to be that, you know, like I remember like having my Pro Tube with the strap and just fucking whipping the assault rifle around just to get it out of the way to grab the pistol. Like that is a very, very cool feeling. So you'll never get that. As you said, the grenades are going to be auto. I was explaining this to someone who is a big Pavlov player, a friend of mine, and they said, well, they might as well fucking shoot the gun for me. It was their response. And I was like, wow.
But that's kind of true, isn't it? Like, as soon as you take away more and more control from the player, like where it's not required. Like on PSVR 1, it was required because you have the peripheral, the aim controller, right? That's adaptive equipment to accommodate the lack of appropriate tracking for individual hand controllers. So on PSVR 1, it made sense because it was the antiquitous equipment that was the limitation. Now you don't have that with the PSVR 2, and it seems as though FCE is kind of stuck in the past. They're implementing cool pieces of the technology like eye tracking, great. Like being able to close your eyes to block it from a flash, put your hand in front of a flashlight to stop the light from showing. Like that's really cool stuff. But don't fuck with the weapon selection. Like make it at least leave that a button press. Instead, they've made it a button press, look, release button, select. Like that's way more steps than pressing triangle. I don't understand it. I don't understand. And throwing the grenade, I don't want to look. I don't want to select the grenade from the weapon wheel, look where I want to throw it, and then pull a trigger. Like I agree with this statement. You might as well fire the gun for me because what am I doing? I could take my controllers here. According to what all these reports say, I could take my controllers here and sit here and do this the entire time. I would not have to move my hands. I could rotate with my left thumbstick. I can move forward with my right thumbstick, right? And then I can just select weapon wheel, look at my grenade, perfect. Look where I want to throw it, and you'll see the arc moving. Pull the trigger, bam, there it goes. Okay, press the button, look at my weapon wheel. Okay, grab my I don't know, whatever the fuck they're gonna call it, the CQB, right? Okay, now it's in my hand. Okay, I'm going to turn my controller a little bit so I can grab it with my front hand. Okay, there. Now it's grabbed on my front hand. Oh, wait, hold on. Never mind. That was automatically put there anyway when I selected the weapon. All right, so I'm going to run around. I'm going to fire. Notice how I haven't moved my controllers at all. Like I haven't had to do a damn thing because I don't have to aim down sight. I could literally just hold it right here while I'm sitting and do this the whole time. You know what you can do? If that's the case, and I'm being hypercritical here, but on purpose because it's a very important criticism, we have just moved from this to this, but have not changed the way you play. I could easily just do this. It's the same exact thing. It's the same exact thing. So I agree with that statement that GT shared from that Pavlov player.
Like that's...
I totally get it. I get why people feel this way, but also, like, since we're using Population 1 as an example, like, let's think about Population 1 reloading for a minute. Like, it's not just this like casual and comfortable, like, oh, I put in my clip and then I rack it back. Like, people learn strategies to like literally cheese the ever living shit out of their reloads. You know, like if you ever watch Proper D's video about reloading the op, it's just like bam, it's like so fast. It's unrealistically fast because he's like learned that there's like a smooth motion that he can do that puts the clip in and pulls the thing back. And maybe they are thinking about it from like a balancing perspective where like they don't want people to have to like cheese their reloads or learn how to get it done in a split second where when they should just be focusing on like the intensity of the fight that they're
so
in.
we don't want manual reload anywhere then.
Well,
we're just gonna get rid of manual reload.
No,
because one person can figure out how to do it faster. To me, that's competitive. That's, you know, if you want to be super competitive and be sweaty, go do that like Proper D did.
And that is the point. It is about skill. It is all about skill. It's about knowing the mechanics of the game, understanding them, becoming fluent with them, and being competent. Proper D is probably one of the classiest and best VR shooter players. He doesn't always win. He doesn't always come out on top. But in team, like just straight up in shooter games, he is he is one of the best, and he's one of my favorite to watch because he takes the time to learn the mechanics and learn how it operates in a virtual space. And that's what makes him competitive, and that's what makes all these other people on Wrecked, Vortex, Havoc, you name it, they all have decided to whatever game that they play perfect. And if you want to try to compensate and lower the gap between sweaty players and casual players by taking away an element that gives the sweaty players an advantage, then you might as well fucking just make a game for kids. As bad as that sounds. Because you're not making a game for everyone. You're making a game that's catered to the casuals. And then they talk about competitive soon, so I'll wait for that.
To me, that's like real life. People learn how to reload really fast in real life. I mean, if we're talking about a competitive shooter, let's be competitive. This is a competitive shooter. I mean, I guess I get the both sides, and I don't, and this is not like arcadey. So don't give me arcadey. I'm okay with arcadey. If you want to be arcadey, do that and do it. Like again, with Switchback, you talked about Switchback. I have no problem with shaking the gun reload, but that's Switchback. It's not a competitive simulation.
But can't you have a competitive shooter that also has some arcadey elements to it? Like it doesn't have to be a fully perfect simulation for it to be competitive.
Yes, you
but
can.
that's not. But this isn't that. This isn't that though. This isn't a halfway.
It is that apparently.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. Their game, like Wes was saying on the show the other night, is so successful on PlayStation VR, and they want to give that same game experience to the people that are invested in that ecosystem. And you know, it's bad for the people that want a manual reload, but for people that love Firewall Zero Hour, they're going to get the same game on a better system, and they're going to love the shit out of it.
Mash is being an ass, but he's making good points. Now they throw the word competitive in there, which bothers me, because Firewall wasn't meant to be competitive. I know it wasn't. It wasn't designed to. It was designed to be fun. It was designed to be a multiplayer, but there is no competitive aspect. There's a leveling system, but competitive comes in the form of ranks. It comes in the form of tournaments. It comes in the forms of league play. It became competitive, and it became like, yeah, right. It became competitive when people decided to bring it in that direction. The game itself has nothing competitive within it. It is literally, you know, the leveling system up to level 50 is only implemented to determine who has played the game long enough and to match them up in RBMM, so rank-based matchmaking, right? They have created a level system so that they can put all the sweaty people into lobbies and all the new people into different lobbies and match people appropriately. But that doesn't make it competitive. That just gives people an opportunity to grow at the appropriate pace. There's no D ranking. This isn't Rocket League here. Rocket League and Overwatch and Counter-Strike and all these other games, they have a ranking system, right? They have a ranking system where if you win, you get better, you get a bigger badge, you get a brighter badge, and you're becoming platinum, you're becoming diamond, you're becoming champ, and you're becoming supersonic legend. Like you're going to these new levels. But every time you lose a bit of your rank, and it's a fight. It's a scrappy fight to get to that position. That is a true competitive game. If you just have levels, it's not competitive. It's like, then you can argue RPGs are competitive because they have a leveling system. It's like, well, my character is stronger than your character, but it's not an MMORPG, it's just an RPG. But is it really competitive? I mean, you can't base Firewall in the competitive scene based on its pure game mechanics and what's implemented in the game. What made it competitive were the leagues, and those leagues were made by the community. They weren't made by the developers. And then those leagues were enhanced by AHC because we were the only ones doing competitive Firewall broadcasting. So we as a community created that scene. That's why Firewall was competitive. And not one of these guys will ever, they don't know. They just assume it's competitive because it did so well, but it did so well because of the competitive scene that the community made. And they can't name one competitive scene in Firewall. They don't know any FWL. They don't know the AUSI League. They don't know GSPL. They don't know AHC. They're just assuming it's competitive because that's what they hear. But they don't know these things. They're a little bit too detached. So I don't feel they have a right to call it competitive without understanding why.
Yeah. And they're in their own bubble anyway. They don't have all the platforms. They have to satisfy that group first.
And I agree with that,
Ruts. People will come and they'll be fine. I mean, I get it. I would prefer some kind of a manual reload as well, but I guarantee I'll enjoy the game either way.
So why, if we have to be bound to old hardware's limitations, why are we upgrading our hardware? Why aren't we all just still playing on the PSVR 1?
Oh, now let's not pretend that. Yeah. Let's not pretend this is the same game. I mean, there are quite a few new features that.
So Wes is going to get it. I know, man. I know you're on the case. This is a point though that I think is fair. So what's this guy's name? Skiva, this guy. I just realized, by the way, that their names are in the bottom left corner. So pardon my obliviousness. But Skiva makes a good point. He's like, if we're just going to have these archaic, primitive mechanics in the game, then why are we even upgrading? And I think that's a good point. And here's Wes saying, like, don't say it's the same game. There's new features. Yeah, but these new features are not the game mechanics. They're just features. He has balls, but I mean, there's a valid point in there. Let's look at it. His point is saying, if you're going to have primitive mechanics, and I'm talking strictly mechanics, the way the guns operate, the way the utility is utilized, the way this the loading system is. So like in this case, yes, it's going to be a best of 3, but in truth, by whoever wins that best of 3. So if someone wins 2 straight, then they're going to go right back to the lobby. Why are we loading back into a lobby? Why are we doing this archaic means of going into a game? Okay, everybody lost. Okay, let's go back into a lobby and let's go back. Like, why can't you have like what Alva has, which is a voting system, so you don't have to go back into your lobby to then load back in? You go to an end of match screen, you figure out what to play next, and then you move forward again. Like, that's a very good implementation. So that's good, because What the Bat is stupid. Sorry, it's my opinion. I think it's a stupid game. And Wes is saying here that no, we can't say that this is the same game. There are new features. Okay, features are not mechanics. Yes, you can spruce things up with features, right? Like you could take a pretty good picture, right? And then you can add things to it. This is what I do on Canva. I take a pretty good picture. Picture's okay. Like, it doesn't have to be the greatest picture, but I can take a picture. And I add things to it. I add gleam. I add borders. I add accents. I blow it up with color, right? I maybe do a fader or something like that, or adjust the color, maybe increase the warmth of that picture. to accentuate some of the colors in it, right? But the base of that picture is highlighted by these accents. The picture itself is pretty basic. It's not a good picture. It's not a great picture. It's a decent picture. It was a good picture, but we have new cameras now. We got 1080p. We got 4K resolution. Why are we not getting, pictures at Google Pixel quality? You know what I'm saying? Like, so if I take a decent picture, like from the Quest, and it's like a little fuzzy, it could be better, but it's still a good picture. Yeah, I can make it look pretty, but that doesn't make the core of the picture good. Firewall is a good picture, right? It's a good picture. Now they've moved over to the PSVR 2 and they're sprucing it up with these haptic feedbacks. They're sprucing it up with this eye tracking. They're sprucing it up with this Unreal Engine 5 and like everything. At face value, it looks pretty. But what are the core mechanics? It's not a new picture. It's the same old picture. And that's my problem. In fact, it's a worse picture because now you can't. No, it's a worse picture because you can't do swapping correctly. Yeah, I agree with you, O'Doyle, there. I understood what you meant. But I hope that analogy kind of highlights the point I'm making. You can have something that is okay to start, but then when you move forward, you can't keep the same picture. You have to and spruce it up with all these doodads and overlays and whatever. Like you can't just do that. You have to have a new picture.
That were revealed this
Unreal
past
Engine
week.
5.
Yeah, Unreal Engine 5 with the blinding mechanics and with the eye tracking and the way you can blind people with your flashlight,
that sounds
flashbangs.
So cool.
You can block it with your hand or close your eyes. I mean, that's amazing.
That is cool.
Those are cool mechanics. I like that. Those are added mechanics. But those aren't the primary mechanics that people use. They don't go into a game thinking like, how's this flashbang going to use and how am I going to defend against myself or defend myself against it? People don't think that. They think about, where's my gun? How fast does it shoot? What's the recoil? How can I control this gun while it shoots? Then they think, okay, now my gun is empty. How do I reload? So the first thing people think of in a shooter, how do I shoot the gun? That's it. You can add these extra mechanics of covering your eyes, closing your eyes, whatever. Those are cool added mechanics, but that's not the core of the gameplay. It does add to comp. I'm not saying that they're not good additions, but I'm saying they're not the core. People aren't running around throwing flashbangs all over the place. People are running around shooting at each other in a VR FPS. And if you don't have the core mechanics of gunplay down or utility usage, because think about it. Yeah, you can cover your eyes from the flashbang, but how is that person throwing the flashbang? Are they taking off their chest like an Alvo and throwing it? Like at least Alvo has this adaptiveness between the arch and also grabbing it off your chest and throwing it, right? In the manual simulation, right? This is all automated, which is archaic.
That is cool. That is really cool. We're very lucky now in VR that I mean, there's still not a standard of everything. For example, like in Veil, you can actually pull the clip out of someone else's gun. Like that is a fucking sick tactic. You know, you come around a corner and they've got a pistol to your head and you go to unload and you've got like one in the chamber. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? It's like, oh, I've just got your mag here, dude. like when that happens, I remember, I think it was Viper who done it to me. I was just like, that was fucking insane. It's unforgettable. Firewall's got a place in my heart kind of thing. You know, it was the first real legendary VR competitive shooter that I completely loved. Like I literally streamed it for hours and, you know, bringing people together. We had a tournament, you know, and all this stuff.
What tournament?
Stuff that I'm very excited to do that again. I think everyone's just got to really pay attention to reviews and figure out.
Is Breachers coming to PSVR 2? Do we know?
I asked them that, and there's no official yes, but there is like a, yeah, we do want to, obviously. So what they did was kind of right. And I think it's all paid off as well, is that they were getting the best out of Quest. As we first knew, it was a Quest game. And I said to the guys, I really want to stream it, but I'm really done with Quest streaming. Like, it's not fun. and they were like, "Oh, we're going to do a PC client, so you can see Quest gameplay on a PC." And I was like, "Well, fuck it, that's amazing." And then next minute there was a PC build, and I was like, "Oh, right, okay." And then so I'm assuming, dude, like if I mean that'd be crazy. I think the conversation would change a lot for people when that happens, because again, breaches would be very middle of the road, because you'd have Pavlov on one end, which a lot of people, I love Pavlov, very realistic guns. You're going to have Firewall, which would be its own, to be fair, a very unique way of playing a first-person shooter in 2023. And then you could have Breaches, which is kind of like a bit, I guess it would be in the middle road.
They have yet, since marker 2-minute marker around there, that Alva has not been mentioned. It was mentioned once, and they're saying that Breaches is in the middle. Breaches is a good game, and these are arguably, Pavlov, Breachers, and Firewall are arguably tactic-based games. But these are not, but Alva is nowhere in there. No, that's gamertag.
And
you're in trouble.
And you're going to have Ghosts of Tabor.
Yeah,
true. Well, September. Yeah,
Firewall Ultra is going to be in trouble too, by the way, because it's only going to be PlayStation that we know of right now. And that player base, when we get Steam, Rift, Quest, and PlayStation VR 2, you'll never have an empty lobby with Breachers.
Absolutely.
And Firewall Ultra or Firewall, you try and go into the PlayStation VR version in the last year or 2 years and find a lobby. You're going to have problems.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're someone who is into like public lobbies, as we just spoke about, I probably won't be playing many public matches.
A lot of people that do, though. People. How many complaints have we heard for the last 2 years about Firewall or 3 years about Firewall? There's a lot of people that play public lobbies.
Forever.
Key point. Key point here. How many times have we heard? How many times have we heard? They'll all be like, "Oh yeah, we heard that. We heard that. We heard that." Not one of them said, "Hey, do you remember sitting in those lobbies? Do you remember waiting?"
They're doing dedicated servers now, so hopefully that shouldn't be an issue. What Alex said, the 40 minutes waiting, and that was the problem. That's what I hated about it too. Like, you know what I mean? You're forced to, and their basketball sucked. You make the basketball better, I think. No, I'm just kidding.
But it wasn't like
this. I'll tell you this. I will play this game because I'll play with my friends and I want to try it and I want to, Firewall was awesome, the original, but there's a lot of competition for games I know I love, and they have lost a lot of my interest with this reload mechanic thing. Now, it doesn't really matter. I'm just one person, right? But there's a lot of competition. I really hope they know what they're doing, because this is such like a big selling point of VR, is being able to interact with weapons like this.
Yeah.
And with the amount of amazing competition they have in the shooter range, I really hope I get in there and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Never mind. Forget everything.
I honestly think they're very focused on one platform. They're not really looking outside of other platforms.
And to your point, they're being really nice. They shouldn't be. It's like coddling someone who is engaging in bad behavior. You're reinforcing the fact that this is okay, and it's not okay. It truly, like them not having the basic VR mechanics in their game on the next generation, and this is going to be a staple. This is a PlayStation IP owned by Sony, and they are not going in with the fundamentals. I agree you need both. I'm okay with both. They're not advertising both. And until they do, they should be blasted for it. That's my opinion. If you want to send the right message, you need to market it correctly. And the marketing right now says automatic reload only. And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm still going to play the game. I'm still going to buy it. I'm still going to play it. I'm still going to have fun with it. But in no way, shape, or form am I going to be okay with the fact that it only has automatic reload. I think that is a disservice to the VR community as a whole.
Platforms, you know, that they are a PlayStation shooter. You know, they're a PlayStation VR shooter first and foremost. So again, it's so different. It's so different for everyone. I mean, the truth is, if people like us who are multi-platform can go in there and have a good game, the people who are only PlayStation VR are going to have a fantastic game. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So I can't wait to go hands on with it just to see, because even the clips they did, you know, like you can almost be drip fed negatives from people talking about the accuracy of some guns, people talking about bits disappearing in the videos, and there's all sorts of stuff going on. But either way, I mean, it's conversation about the game, which is cool.
Right.
People
and
care.
You know, nihilist Ryan in the chat says something that none of us have really mentioned. He says, one thing though, Firewall is going to have way better graphics than any of the competition, it seems. And I would say that that's probably true. Like, it's going to be really, really beautiful. And to maybe just back up Skiva's perspective a little bit here, you know, Firewall, or First Contact Entertainment, kind of has a track record of like building off of like their base skeleton. You know, like you think about when Solaris came out, right? Like they targeted that game for the Quest and didn't take advantage of the Quest. It was still basically like a weird port of Firewall, having your hands glued to a single weapon and not having grenades that you can just reach out and throw, and not having manual reload mechanics or any of that kind of stuff. So there is a part of me that thinks that First Contact has just like taken Firewall and like left the core there and then just like added.
Well, that is exactly what
Is that not what I just said about the picture? You have a shitty picture, or a decent picture, not shitty. You have a decent picture, and when you want to re-advertise that picture, you don't upgrade the picture, you just add shit to it to make it look better. That's what they did.
The game it's like, for example, when we was talking about the lobbies, you still have to go back to a lobby in between rounds. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, why would you not think of a new way to do that other than you're trying to avoid going back to the drawing board, or you've tried and failed?
I don't know. I don't know.
So
what if?
Also, do you see those bullet trails? They're like lava orange, man.
What if an aim controller 2 is coming and they know that? That's why they're doing a button press.
I can tell you right now. I can tell you right now with confidence, there is no aim controller 2. There are no plans for it.
It's not going to.
Then I'm all for it. Now I'm back in. Now I'm back in.
Look,
all right.
Firewall
for the future. Let's go.
Listen, Eric. With these kind of button mechanics, you know, button press mechanics being added into the control scheme, what this essentially does is it allows you to get a gun stock and use it like an aim controller, because you don't have to pull your controllers out and reload and have all this clunky interaction that gun stocks bring. You can put your controllers on like a Pro Tube or something, and then it, in theory, would feel like a next gen aim controller because of the next gen haptics and stuff. So
does the DualSense track?
I'm sorry?
No.
Does the DualSense controller track?
No, it doesn't. No.
Oh, because that was one of the things about Firewall, is that they wanted to make it to where you could also play it with.
So again, talking about something and not having the knowledge, you don't know if the DualSense controller tracks. Like, nothing against you, Alex. You've had good statements, you have good perspectives, but you, like, again, like, you could talk about, like, this is my frustration. If, like, ask questions, but if you don't know the basics, like, there are some games that I don't necessarily play, so I don't really talk about them. So I don't really know anything about that. I played a little bit. I thought it was kind of cool. Like Pavlov, I played. I could talk about that. I played it for a good amount of time, probably about 10 hours or so, and that probably just sounds like very little to some people, but I played it long enough to know, like, it's not my kind of game. I played Contractors for just about the same amount of time. It's like, not my kind of game. And I can tell you why it's not my kind of game. I do go back and try to play those games, but before I talk about it, I try to experience it. If you don't know that the DualSense doesn't track, hello? This isn't light tracking anymore, man. Like, what? What's up, Ace? How's it going, man? Exactly. And that's, yeah, exactly.
The DualShock at the time. So you could either use a DualShock or an aim controller. Anybody who used an aim controller would have told you that's the way to play. But
is there occlusion issues with the PlayStation VR2 controllers yet? There are issues. Like, I
Very,
don't know.
very
I, like,
rare-
I haven't
very
used it.
rarely, very
I haven't
rarely.
really used a gun stock.
I do all the time. Not with occlusion, just tracking in general, because I'm in a big. When I'm not on the ship, I'm in a big green room.
That's true.
Only way.
Literally,
Steve
Steve was
get
like,
my PlayStation to work is by throwing boxes and shit all over the place. Like when it's time for me to game on my PlayStation, I have to trash the place and then pick up
Man.
afterwards. It's the
Literally, we were in a
only way.
meeting the other day.
Otherwise, every 2 seconds, my
I looked
tracking's
around
gone.
and Steve, I'm like, what are all those boxes all over your room? He's like, yeah, I was using my PlayStation. I had to have something back. It had boxes everywhere.
That sucks.
So this
I
is
think in a
Yeah.
slower game like Ghost of Tabor, I would.
It's a
definitely
full
go with a gun stock,
goatee.
like a Pro Tube. Or
He just
something
has
like
white
that.
hair.
Like a full gun stock, because it's slow enough that it's not. You have to reload fast sometimes, but it's still not that frantic, fast-paced Pavlov contractors type of reload where you don't have to worry about it. And there's no climbing. There's no things.
But
where
there's
you
a
have to worry about
lot
that.
of looting. You're like always
Oh,
like
yeah.
No, it
reaching
is.
down to the
No,
ground.
I'm not saying you don't
picking
have to
items
break.
up.
Yeah, I'm not saying you don't have to break it, but I mean, watch somebody like Short Stacks play with his Pro Tube, and man, he plays Ghost of Tabor better than anybody I've ever seen. He plays with that Pro Tube all the time,
He
and
plays
you
it
can definitely
more
do
than
it.
anyone else.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Well, and if Firewall is built to where I actually don't split my hands up, then that might make
Right.
a stock sound a lot more appealing.
Yeah, and I guess in
Exactly.
that case, it might make me feel better about the button press. I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, at the end of the day, this could be really good fun, and it could be very tactical, regardless of all this stuff. So
I like that we're getting these good quality shooter games, though. I mean, that's great. I mean, this is going to be huge.
Amen.
And this brings a lot. This can bring a lot of flat gamers in too that haven't tried VR before, that will try it because it's VR and it's cool and it's something they've never done before.
I was so hyped for Firewall, and I'm not anymore.
Oh
And
no!
I'm still gonna play it.
No.
I'm still gonna play it, right?
Yeah, I still
I'm gonna
think it'll be
try it,
fun.
and I'm sure I'm probably gonna love it. But the thing is, it killed the hype for me. And that's a
Agreed.
bummer.
You're
The hype
getting
is
all
gone.
the maps from the original.
All right. I'm going to preface this with the fact that this is the point where I screamed in my car and I got pissed. Like, more pissed than already. Yeah, in Ace, I'm kind of with you. They are going to add more maps. They are going to add more contractors. We already know that we already know of one new contractor. But they have reimagined all the maps. So they're the same maps, but reimagined. So Office is completely trash, lights blinking, dark spaces, oil rig. It's on fire. Well, parts of it are on fire, or so it seems. It's a little bit darker. It looks like it's been abandoned. Right, bunker looks like it's been taken over. There's parts that are expanded on. So like the maps they're bringing back the old maps, but they've been redesigned and reimagined to some extent. So it's going to play a little bit differently. I'm going to get Ultra because I want to be able to talk about it. I want to be able to say that I played it. I want to be able to say that I put enough time in that I can also cast and understand how the game plays. But there's a point where I'm going to be like, man, it's just not what it should be unless they can make it that way. But here's the point in the video where I absolutely just got pissed off. And I was just like, I can't stand listening to people like this. And I'll let you listen. Hold on.
Nice.
Wow,
that's
really? I didn't know
As
that.
far as I know, as I said, it's
That's cool.
Firewall
Oh,
Ultra
yeah.
is the original Firewall underneath, and then they go. Then you're laying it with Unreal Engine 5, and then the PSVR 2 stuff.
So is it only the old maps though? There's no new maps?
There might be a
there's
new
new
map.
maps.
There probably will be a
There's
new
gotta
map.
be.
There's new
They're better.
Yeah,
contractors.
there are new maps. There are new maps. There are new
Oh, okay.
contractors, new weapons.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
But the old maps have been rebuilt, and they're not one for one. They're for example, the like call center.
Right here, Wes can't remember Office. He says it's a call center. It's not a call center. It's called Office. It's Office. What the fuck is call center? I'm sure he's like on screen and like I have moments where I'm like, man, I can't. What the fuck was the name of the office? But then I would describe of that one map where there's like a bunch of offices around. Oh, office, right? Like I'd find my way to the but call center. No, it's Office. And hold on, just
Map
just wait.
is all disheveled now with furniture turned over. There are
Nice.
new routes through the old maps. There are elevators and things in there now that weren't there before. So it's a remix. It's kind of like a remix of the of all the old maps plus new maps, new contractors, new weapons.
What about
All right,
Anthony's
I'm hyped now.
hallway carpet? The carpet from the hotel, is that still there?
Uh,
Roots gets Hotel, right?
I bet you it is, but it's going to
Unreal
be
5, bro. Carpet.
glorious
You can-
4K now.
I give Wes credit. I give him credit.
Yeah, you can rub your
Yeah.
face on it.
No,
He
he doesn't.
says an Unreal Tournament.
Unreal Engine 5.
He had a blank moment.
Why did we play My Mum then? I must have missed that.
So
She's got carpet
Yeah, you know who wants to rub your face, or somebody said something.
in my mom's carpet.
In my mom's
She has an
carpet.
she has an unreal carpet.
Oh,
Firewall's
God.
maps are extremely good. Some of like the best maps ever in first-person shooters, in my opinion. Like I
Yeah.
loved those maps. They were even the ones that I didn't like. I still liked. You know, they were like my least favorite, but I still loved playing.
Didn't name one. Didn't name one map that he liked. Didn't name one map he didn't like. I don't know if they were trying to end the cast or not, but to blanket statement be like, you know, say like, I love the maps. I love the maps in Firewall. Particularly, I loved Hotel. I loved Office. I loved Post 19 or 15. Post 19. It's 19. Been a while since I've seen that map. I hate Bunker. I hate Shoot House. I hate Warehouse. It didn't name any of them.
On them.
I can't wait to go back to the one with the kitchen where you got the donuts and the croissants. And I used to I used to just look at those things for hours.
Donuts? Kitchen. Go to the map with the kitchen and the donuts. Do you know how many places Post has that? They have like a little hallway that has like a buffet where you pick up your shit. Shit house. Yeah, I misspoke, Ace. I'm sorry. Shit house. At Post they have that hallway with a buffet where you can grab stuff that has food. You have Office. Is he talking about Retreat? Probably. He probably mixed up his fucking games, because you also have Office, which has an entire kitchen area and dining room that has food that you can see. You have Black Site, which has an entire central market in it with food sprawled all about. Hotel has has a kitchen, but there's no food there, so he can't possibly be talking about Hotel. There's also Compound, which is my favorite map, which has food strewn about, but there's no pastries or anything like that. But there's still food there. So is he talking about that one? I'm not entirely sure. There's so many different places that have kitchens and food in it. What the fuck map is he talking about? You want to know why he said, I want to go back to that map that has the croissant and the donuts? It's because you don't know the fucking name, bro. Did you play the game? Did you play it outside of the first year of release? This is the shit that pisses me off. This is what pisses me off. People, I'm throwing all these guys into the general sense, but I'm not identifying any one of them necessarily. I'm just simply making a general statement, because I see this time and time again. YouTube creators, VR influencers who talk about shit that barely play the fucking game. If GT were talking about Pavlov, I would listen to him in a heartbeat, because he knows that game. He knows that game very well. He doesn't know shit about Firewall. And here they are talking about Firewall Ultra. Why? Because he's got a big platform. That's it. He's got a big platform, and he wants to talk about the new up-and-coming thing. He wants to stay relevant in that sense. And you know what? I understand as a content creator, like, that is important. It's not my day job. That's his day job. So I get it. He's got to keep it relevant. But what the fuck? Know the source. Know the game. If you forget it before you get on the cast, go back into Firewall and play it. Get familiar with it. Has anyone here played Firewall since 2018, 2019? Probably not. They didn't know about the leagues. They just assumed it was competitive. They make a lot of assumptions here. I agree, Ace. Like, I don't play Firewall anymore. Like, I stopped playing Firewall a long time ago, but I've stayed relevant in it. I've paid attention. I watch streams. I know the tactics. I know the contractors. I study the material. I know the map names. I know the strategic routes and plays to make from a competitive stance. I know the game. And every once in a while, I'll hop back in it to be like, I'm feeling nostalgic. And then I realize how bad the gun drift is, and I get killed every fucking time, and I'm gone. Like, I can't. The net code is terrible. The matchmaking is a monstrosity. But, like, know your fucking content, or don't talk about it. And I'm blasting GT here because he made the error, but he makes this error all the time, and so do many other content creators. You know who doesn't make that error? Thrill Seeker. If you guys don't know Thrill Seeker, he's probably one of the most well-known VR news people, period. And this guy knows his shit. He's a competent creator. He's a competent news caster. And these guys are talking like this is where I lost myself. And you see me losing myself again. It pissed me off, man, hearing that. You remember that map with the croissants and donuts that you could just go in there and see, and oh, it was beautiful. What map, bro? There's so many maps with a kitchen with food in it. God damn it. It pisses me off. Anyway, no one's talking about Alvo. And that's one of the reasons why I would say it's struggling in the VR space and it's not nearly as talked about, is because people like these guys, some of them are supporters. From what Odoyo's telling me, Roots and West are supporters of Alvo. They enjoy it. Awesome. But casts like this and a group of people like this, in the general sense, ignore games that they subjectively dislike and do not consider what certain games have to offer from an objective stance. Effing Hate It plays Gun Raiders. I've never once picked up Gun Raiders, but I've watched a lot of it. It seems really cool in a sense. I appreciate the mechanics. They already have a battle royale in it, and I like what they're doing with the game. I will never play it, though. It is Minecraft shooters in VR. Not my cup of tea. But you know what? I can at least say, you know what? I don't know much about the game, but this is what I've seen, and these are the features that I like, and I think it's a cool space for people. It doesn't have the best graphics. It doesn't have the best mechanics. It doesn't have all this stuff, but here are some things that they're doing okay with. And they're doing a great job. They're doing a fantastic job because people are in it. They've actually improved the game significantly. And then you have a AAA title like Larcenauts, made by Impulse Gear, who were the original creators of the aim controller and Farpoint, and Larcenauts fucking flopped, man. It's flopped. Anyway, I'll shut up. I'm annoyed. Shit pisses me off. Know your content. Know the content that you want to talk about. Know it before you say anything. Okay, sounds good. I need to let my team know, just so you guys do know. I am playing with hacks. Letting them know that I'm getting on. We're going to play some Breachers. And I would say that in some instances I'm good, some instances I'm bad. We'll see how tonight goes. I need to switch my headset though, but you best bet I'm wearing my Alvo gear. These fucking pants, man, are so comfy. They're so comfy. I'm going to put my mic down. Hold on. You guys can probably hear me a little bit. I always forget which side's my right on the headphones. All right. All right. Here we go. Let us get into it, folks. I need to get some serious practice with Breachers if I am going to help my team be competitive. Should be on the appropriate one. if you like Rainbow Six, man, this is it. This game has so many cool features in it. I appreciate everything that it does, from the repel system, from the buy system. The only thing I hate about it is the TTK, and I have an issue with that with a lot of different titles, man. The time to kill is so important. If I shoot first but lose the fight, that means the time to kill is bad, or there's a netcode issue. One of the two. And it's. I'll go through a couple of things that I like about the game to kind of give you an idea. And this is going to be as objective as possible. I'll throw some subjectivity in there a little bit, but from an objective point of view, okay? So here's something. O'Doyle, when we were talking about competitive, this is what I'm talking about right here. They have a ranking system coming into play, I believe. You can already set up private servers. You got regular servers. With the regular servers, you can find private servers only or show high ping. It's automatically going to populate ping that is for you. It's going to be good for you. See, here's all the ping. Perfect, right? Or I could show high ping servers too. And these lobbies are full. Look, you see this bar over here? Look how many lobbies there are. I mean, this is insane. And this is just all the regular ping lobbies, right? Anyway, I like that system, and I like that they're going to have competitive, and they have offline training. So if I go into offline training, I can do the 3 different sites for bomb defusal, or I can do team deathmatch or the tutorial. And you could set things up the way you want to, so that's nice. You got your friends list, which is great. And then they have a gun range up over here, which I really like. Now, you can't take anything off the walls like Pavlov right now, but you can see all the equipment available. You have the EMP, which is the bomb. You have the wall barrier that you might find in Rainbow Six. So the things that you put on the wall and you pull it up, that's that, except it's used a little differently. You got a drone cam that you can send in to scout the place before you breach it. So really cool utility. You have an electromagnetic field grenade up there. You have breaching foam, so you spray the foam on the wall, you hit the button, it blows it up. The electromagnetic field slows someone down and hurts them a little bit at a time. This is the motion sensor. That's the cloaking system for anyone who's actually breaching. You have the smoke. You have the traditional grenade. You have, this is the fire grenade, incendiary grenade. And that right there is a tripwire. And then you have a variety of guns, so that's in the different assault rifles. You got the shotgun. That's a shotgun. That's kind of like a one-shot rifle, kind of like a shotgun. And you have the different weapons. And then you can come over here and you can practice and do the shootout. And I already have gold star on all of these. So it's all target system time-based. So really cool things to start. The UI is great as well. So this is the number of players per team. You'll see that when I go in. And I'm going to play, and there are going to be more things like an armory that you can go into. Over here, they actually have in-game roadmap, so you can see the things that are coming up. So competitive, queue with friends, which you can't do right now, but you can switch teams. So there's that B haptics, and the ranking system, a new game mode, new map. So it's really cool that they have that integrated. The graphics are clean, but they're not like perfect. So things that should be rounded are not rounded. They're just kind of squared off. I'm going to go into an offline. I'll show you the new skyscraper map, and I'll do my best. I got to warm up here a little bit. So every round is going to start with pistol, and to actually equip, turn the gun and you pick. I don't want to do anything else. This is the pre-order skin for the Jesper, and then you pick all your gadgets. I like doing the healing syringe and the breaching foam, and then you can see all your teammates' economy over here and what their loadout is. And I gotta remember the button. The gameplay is so slow though, like the way you run, so slow. And I don't like slow. I like Alvo. The leaning mechanic too, so like you see my square, that's where my body is. If you lean in real life, my square is still there, so only my upper half is actually leaning. No, this game you cannot see your arms, no. So you can see my UI right here. When you double grip, it's here on your wrist, but when you double grip, it goes up to your gun. You can toss things to your teammates. I can't put it in here, so I gotta go in here. Line up the wavelengths. The audio cues are great. You can ping. So if I want to ping over there. The recoil is a bitch, though, I'll tell you that much. You can go around, pick up everybody's weapons if you want. If they have like utility like revive stuff, you can pick it up and save your money. So now my economy's at 3,200. The Maori is my favorite assault rifle. So this is one thing I like. I can just take my hand off, right? I'll put it on my stock, just like this. Drop this down, and then just go right back up. You see? So I never actually have to... It's super smooth. I never, with my gun stock, I never really have to take my controllers off. You can only sprint. You can only sprint with the gun pointed down, which kind of sucks. You see how quick that transition is? It's like super sleek. So I'm only going up against bots, just if anyone's curious. I'm playing on the hardest difficulty. I'm getting my practice and my aim in. And the other nice thing is if your team is out of utility, what you can do is, right, I gotta figure out where I am. So let's say I take this off and I want to bring a frag grenade or something, right? Take that. Right, now I got 2 syringes. But I'm not gonna do that. I don't need that because I don't have teammates. Whoops. But you can do that. Whoops. So as long as you have the economy to buy stuff, you can give it to your team. You're back? All right. I didn't see you. Well, maybe we're not friends in here. So, but I'll come get you. I'm just training right now to kind of get my feet wet again. Come on, turn. There's only 2 people left. Bam. There's another cool mechanic. You can literally swing in. So I'll show you that real quick. All you have to do is press the right thumbstick or the thumbstick of your dominant hand, and that would allow you to no, that wouldn't allow you to sprint. Left one is for sprint. To crouch. Whatever one allows you to crouch. And you can just swing right on in. Or you can knock it. You can punch it with your fist if you want to. But I'm going to do the swinging feature because I think it's kind of cool. Okay. So far, so good. It's gonna get real sweaty though when we get into a real lobby. I'll go up one more level. Yeah, there we go. Well, we traded. I went to go spray. There goes all my equipment. I think this game would do good with some revives, though, I'll tell you that much. You guys stupid? Hello, UI? Oh boy. Okay, you're gonna grab. Oh my god. Yay, AI. Come on, Jonathan. Peek. What are you doing? Oh my god, the AI sucks. All right. All right, let's not mess that up again. Everybody going this way? Oh, Jonathan's going solo. Good luck, Jonathan. Oh, you got this, dude. Oh, give me back up. Just wanted to do a simple hand gesture, that's all. Oh, oh, oh. Up, up, up. Arthur's dead. Arthur survived. Where's my team? You motherfuckers! You're supposed to be watching my back, Jonathan! Jonathan! You were the flank man! You let me down, Jonathan. You let me down, man. Let me down. Oh, I don't have my thing. Damn it. There we go. All right, one more round and then I just win the entire thing, so. I thought that said NGR for a second. NGR toilet paper, you know? Not bad, not bad. Let's go with the Vezin this time. About as expensive, but... Do we want to go? Actually, forget that. Let's save some money. Get a proper sight. Proper foregrip. We will do a trip mine. Set it there. Make it. Can you see it from here? You cannot see it from here. There's no visual indicator there. That is a very hard red line to see. All right. Ah, pretty good spot. Do you say so myself? UNC News at 10. You see that recoil, man? Ridiculous. Come on, Arthur. It's all up to you, dude. You got this, Arthur. I have faith in you, bud. I have faith in you. All by myself. Don't wanna be all by myself. How are we not killing this dude? He's right here. How? How are the bots? How does one bot effectively eliminate our entire party? A bot. A bot? Because I didn't go with my gun. That's what it was, guys. That's what it was. I'm getting too greedy. That's what it is. Too greedy. Come here, boys. No knives, though. No machetes. I don't know. I'm not sure, Puddles. I don't want that, thank you. Telling you, in any other game, that would have been an elimination. Victory! All right. Now that I'm done, we're gonna go back to the main lobby. We're gonna pick up Puddles. Who I do not see online. I see no Puddles. Oh boy. Are we not friends, Puddles? I don't think we're friends on Quest, are we? You're on? I believe you. I don't know if we're friends on Quest. Why am I still friends with Chuckamus? Let's see. It says you're offline. Yeah, I think so too, but it's showing you offline. Yeah, I don't know. There you are. Now it's showing you online in game. Your server's full. That's what it says anyway. I guess I could create a server.
Hey, Puddles. Hey, Wolf.
Oh, yo, you're here. Okay, hey, fuck it. I was just sending you a message. Hi, can you hear me? I always forget to unmute my mic. Hey. Nate?
Yes, I can. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Perfect.
Change teams. Come on. That way it's just us three.
I'd be willing to try it. So what, we're gonna go skyscraper? So I left it open, there's no password.
So what is this, oh, so it's a private server.
Yeah.
I was wondering, I'm like, why is there nobody here?
I was also, I was also working on making sure, like, we could get together, communicate, you know, that little thing.
Right.
Rot. It is open, though. So
beautiful.
beautiful.
Bubble up your nostril.
You got some eye boogers. Come here.
Hello.
You've got some bug juice on your face mask. Let me just cop a feel and give me a good old cough.
Only thing that works when you have balls.
Oh, my mistake. Here's my balls over here. They must have fallen off.
You mean that one, red one? Has to be near the red one. That's how the game works.
It does not. If I just pick up the red one, do I automatically win? Look, you'll never get closer.
Probably.
Probably.
Hold on, Wolf. Hold on. Stand still. Look at these two balls. They dropped. The balls have dropped.
So that's what it feels like to have balls again. Oh.
What the fuck? Imagine Puddles just bringing these two balls. Hey, your balls dropped.
Imagination.
Aww.
No.
Balls
you
dropped.
sneaky thief. Get back here. I fucking suck. You will not get me.
And you still miss.
Hey, you guys.
Who wants it?
I do.
Pay me $5.
All the way downtown.
Oh. No one caught it. So. That's a shitty throw.
I know. I don't want to hit my drop ceiling. All right. So do we want to make a party so we can chat and pick a server together and try to get in, or how do we want to do this?
Sure.
All right. I don't know. Let's see. Party chat.
And I still miss. Shit.
Party chat.
It's hard to make.
All right. Party chat. You left it just.
Oh, shy.
Oh. Okay. Someone else might have to create a party chat because I'm just getting a loading screen. Hadouken!
I thought it was Hadouken.
Hadouken!
There we go. Now that sounds a lot better. Hadouken. I'm like, what the hell?
May. What the
And Parastomus. It is hard to get the shite. Oh, no! She stole it.
Ah.
Oh, what? I caught it.
Oh, no, come on! Bastardo!
Fuck.
Ah, senorita.
What the hell?
What the fuck did it just bounce off of? There's no rocky or anything. Complete redirect. Oh shit.
And under. Shit. Yours is under, mine's is over.
Oh god, I'm so afraid of hitting my ceiling. No! What a swipe. Somehow they might as well just make the hoop a little bit bigger or deflate the ball a bit.
Either one. Ooh. Okay.
Go Puddles. It's your birthday. Go Puddles.
No, that was a couple months ago.
Go Puddles. It was your
Imagine it
birthday.
bounced out.
Oh, what is that video up there? People holding hands, making romance, making plans in the
Where?
sands.
Where?
Up there, on the skyscraper.
Oh,
The
that.
DNA strands. They're talking about genetic cloning, I guarantee it.
Oh my god. Fuck. Now I overshot it. Now I undershot it. What the hell?
Alright. Is anyone able to make a party?
Oh, I hit the
Hey, Bottles.
rim. No.
Yeah.
You wanna go party?
No, that's so close.
There's party.
Yes, I got it in. All right, sweet.
Party!
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, you.
Party!
Yeah, you're talking about the band
Mhm.
Hyperdash, quote unquote, and some beers, some brewskis.
I want them to make these
Oh my
interactable,
God.
where you can actually pull the thing.
I want the whiskey.
My dear,
Want
that
whiskey?
says bourbon
Well, bourbon, whiskey,
and gin and tonic.
Bourbon.
it's almost the same.
It's almost. Same strength.
Who wants some vodka?
Vodka. I
Who
love
wants
some
vodka?
vodka, comrade.
Imagine they had an Easter egg. You can equip a bottle and smash it on someone's head while playing. That's an epic way to go out.
Africa and Europe.
Cocktails.
What little things do they
The
got in the
border.
air?
I don't see the wall. So is this the border from Mexico and USA? Huh. It's a lot different from what I'm used to.
How is this attached?
I'll
Magic.
tell you this much, it's too damn bright.
I know. Go ahead. Don't look in the light.
So what you meant by party? You meant by
Like a party chat,
Oculus?
so that when we go to the main lobby, we can still talk and shit, and then figure out which lobby we're in.
Yeah, you're talking about yeah, hold on.
Because mine just kept looping. This looks like a gymnastics
Just
horse a
saying.
little bit, doesn't it?
A bit.
It's a little thick. How she likes it.
Alright.
Join us, ESTF Careers. You'll like it here. Everybody's just standing so still like a mannequin. I'm a bit scared. Are you still here? You're breathing. You're not moving. She's gone.
No, she's in a party. Hold on, I'm trying to invite you.
Hot tea, hot tea.
Hottie, hottie, naughty, naughty. You're so naughty.
You naughty, naughty bird.
How'd you know I was a bird? Oh, it's lagging. Why is it so
Yeah,
laggy?
mine's so laggy too, man.
I mean, hold on. Bam! Found it. Alright. Fucking hell, it took me a while.
Stay nimble.
Wolf, did you receive it?
I have received nothing.
Fucking hell. Try looking, cause I added you to the call and nothing shows up.
I got no notifications. There's a call. I'll join that one.
Good.
Hello? Oh boy. Oh, the lag. I'm here. Hello? Hello? Oh. It's lag. Okay. Oh.
Hello?
It's lagging. Oh. Okay. Should be good. Are we all here? I should be. Are you in the call? Okay. Puddles? Okay. All right. All right. So I'm looking at servers. There is one here called Mertbert. Oh, fuck, it disappeared. Oh, fuck, stop moving. I saw that one. Okay, pick one that has like 5 players or something like that. Select it, and then we'll go in. 5 players or less, and then we'll join on you. Who joined what? All right, Puddles, where are you? Okay, I'm going to then. Here we go. That's okay. We can still hear Puddles, though. No, she doesn't want to do that. She wants her team to lose. That's what she wants. She wants us to win. Yes, you do, Puddles. Yes, you do. This is actually perfect because she could probably kick my ass in this game, I'll be honest. Alright, let's see. Oh, of me playing this game? You can switch to app. I can hear you. I can hear you. I don't know if she muted herself, but she's in here. That's what's important. I wish I knew my ping. I'm a bit jumpy.
Hello? Team? Can anybody hear me? No. F no. Yo, can you guys hear me? Can you guys like talk or something? Cause you guys need to like step your game.
He shot me from around the corner. Me? No. Oh, but he might get muted. God dang.
1v3 it. 1v3 it.
Doesn't help that we started with a pistol because we got no economy. Come on, Jorm. Come on, Jorm. You got this, Jorm. You stupid bot. Put in the work.
You got this, Jorm.
Put in the work, Jorm.
Guys, we're here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Okay. Yeah, think of it as a Stairmaster.
He's muted. God, he's annoying. My stream is lagging? It's because his game is lagging. Like, you can see my camera. My camera's moving fine, I think. I don't know, I'm like 16,000. Jesus Christ. This game always lags whenever I try to stream it, man. I don't understand. Every time I try to stream it, it lags. Is my game crashing? My game is frozen. Ah. Yo, what's up, Joker? How's it going, man? Yeah, this is rough. The game won't even the game won't even close. There we go. Holy shit. Nice. All I want to do is play the game, stream it, so I can go back, watch my performance, learn where I did wrong. I can't even do that because I can't even stream the goddamn game. Now the notification that you're calling me is coming in. Fuck. Says I'm still casting? That's not true. I look like I'm moving fine. What the fuck? It's still lagging like a motherfucker. Holy shit. All right, guys. Unless I get the PC version, which I very well could, I don't know if I can continue. I want to show you guys Breachers, I do, but I got to figure out how to get this sorted because this shit ain't working. I'm going to get a little practice and I'm going to fuck around. See, the thing is, like with other games, I don't experience this when I cast it. There's something about this game. Ever since alpha, I've never been able to cast it. So, it just kind of sucks. So I'm gonna look at maybe also getting the PC version, and I'll probably try to play it that way. But I'm gonna have to close the stream because otherwise, there won't be any good content here for you guys. So I'm gonna peace out now. I'm going to stay on. If you guys are interested in Breachers, check it out. There's plenty of videos on YouTube. Hopefully I can bring it to you guys soon and show you what I got. But I'm going to go. I'm going to practice. See you guys next time.